ladies and gentlemen, this is Carmine Sabia for Explain America, and Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky made a massive mistake last week, and he's still paying for it. Before we get started, please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Those little things really help us out, and they help our channel continue to grow. And if you're not watching us on YouTube, please check that address in the lower right-hand corner. It's youtube.com/@ExplainAmerica and hit subscribe absolutely free. It really helps us out. There are a lot of people in the United States government that supported Vladimir Zelensky, support Ukraine. Listen, I feel for the people of Ukraine, but there's so much you have to understand about this debacle. Understand, number one, that Vladimir Zelensky has suspended elections until the war is over. Sounds reasonable, right? Here's the thing. This war could go on 20 years. This could be a never-ending war. And this man just stays in power. That's called a dictator. I watched videos of his officers, his military officers, dragging kids away from their parents, young men away from their parents, kicking and screaming to go serve in the military. That's freedom? Or is it freedom when he shuts down churches that disagree with him, when he shuts down media organizations that disagree with him? Is that the democracy we're supposed to be fighting for? He's a scam artist, a con artist, a carny barker, as far as I'm concerned. That being said, he had a lot of help with this government, Republicans and Democrats. And one of the people who supported him was Speaker Mike Johnson. But that tune has changed after his ridiculous, disgusting display in the Oval Office. You even got people like Lindsey Graham and now Mike Johnson jumping off. In fact, Mike Johnson suggests, and I agree with him, it came after Lindsey Graham suggested it, this man needs to resign. If he wants help with Ukraine, if he really wants Ukraine to be helped, he needs to not be in power anymore. Enough of him cosplaying as a military hero, wearing his fatigues. He never served one day in the military, but he has no problem sending other kids off to a meat grinder. I'm a little emotional about it. I'm gonna let you, when you've seen the things I've seen, when you've seen the scenes I've seen for my job of this war, you get a little emotional, and I apologize for that. There's so much I really want to tell you. We don't have the time in these videos for me to do it all in one video. And one of these days, I'm really considering just sitting down and really explaining this thing so that people truly understand that you're just dealing with two bad guys here that are fighting each other. Anyway, I want you to watch what Speaker Johnson said here and let me know what you think in the comments.
Speaker, as you know, reaction has been pouring into that Oval Office meeting on Friday. Democrats and even some Republicans say it only emboldened Vladimir Putin. A Kremlin spokesman saying today that the U.S. foreign policy shift, quote, largely coincides with its vision. Here was the Wall Street Journal editorial board, quote, Putin wins the Trump-Zelensky Oval Office spectacle. Was Vladimir Putin the winner here, Mr. Speaker?
No, he wasn't. Listen, I have participated in a lot of bilateral meetings in my time with heads of state and other dignitaries. There's always a certain protocol that goes along with this. I've never seen anything like President Zelensky's behavior there. He berated and interrupted his host, and instead of expressing gratitude for the extraordinary help that the U.S. has provided his country and effectively helped him stay alive and stay in power. So the way that went down was very disappointing. I hope and pray, frankly, that President Zelensky will come to his senses, come back to President Trump, express gratitude as he should, apologize for his behavior there, and accept this mineral rights deal, because that is the best way for us to get to a point of peace over there in that region, and it's in the interest of both countries.
Well, I want to play you what you said almost a year ago when you argued in favor of sending more aid to Ukraine. Take a listen.
I believe Xi and Vladimir Putin and Iran really are an axis of evil. I think they're in coordination on this. I think that Vladimir Putin would continue to march through Europe if he were allowed. I think he might go to the Balkans next. I think he might have a showdown with Poland or one of our NATO allies. To put it bluntly, I would rather send bullets to Ukraine than American boys.
Mr. Speaker, do you still believe that Ukraine is an ally who the United States should support over Vladimir Putin and an axis of evil?
Yes, it's pretty absurd for anyone in the media or Democrats to somehow proclaim that President Trump, the White House, or Republicans in Congress are on Putin's side. It's a joke. We understand that he is a dangerous adversary, and he is the one that provoked the war. When we did the the aid to Ukraine a year ago, the entire point of that, and I was consistent from that moment until today, the whole point was to position Ukraine for peace talks, to make sure that they could hold the line until President Trump returned to the White House, which we knew was going to happen. President Trump is the only figure on the entire globe who is powerful enough to bring both of these parties to the table. And he was in the process of doing that. And he was very, I think, excited about the deal that was going to be consummated yesterday. But President Zelensky went in and blew it up. And it is such a great disappointment for everyone. We need to get him back to the table. We need to get Ukraine to express gratitude, of course, for all that we've done for them. But to bring an end to this conflict, it is in America's interest to get this done. And it is certainly, obviously, in Ukraine's interest and all of our allies in Europe and around the world.
But